Everyone on base, until instructions are given, do not make a sound. Stop all construction work. I repeat, do not make a sound. This is not a drill.
Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and today we're going to be taking a first impressions look at another Resident Evil-like survival horror game. This is Deep Fear for the Sega Saturn. A game that I have also seen a full playthrough of, like Carrier, but again, quite a while ago, and I only remember a couple little choice bits, so it is worth finding out how this plays and showing it to people who have not seen it at all. Now, I don't have that much experience with the Sega Saturn, but I do know that it is as a predecessor system to the PlayStation's release, it is not as technically impressive as the PlayStation. And as such, there is some very heavy dithering, which I don't know how well that's going to work for the, YouTube compression, but I don't think it should be too bad. The reason I haven't done this game previously, even though I wanted to, is because I had not found a good Sega Saturn emulator, because it is not the most popular system to emulate. It is one of the more obscure systems that not a lot of people are looking for, but there is a decent one now, and it is the one I'm using, so let's get in here. You might have already saw it from the opening video, but this game has some pretty shonky voice acting. Like, I would say this is actually worse than the original Resident Evil for the most part, but that might just be because the original Resident Evil doesn't actually have a lot of voice acting. You don't run into other people too often, but here, there was a lot of dialogue, and a lot of it, especially from the main character, is very bad. So we have this return capsule, which is crashing down into the ocean. For some reason, while it does have a parachute, it does not have any kind of flotation device on it, which is very unusual for that kind of return capsule, since they do tend to touch down in the ocean, considering we have so much ocean to touch down in. And, better that than, in the middle of a rural area.
18 hours and 37 minutes. An unidentified flying object emitting a regulatory signal crashed into the Pacific Ocean. This is Rainbird. Eldridge, do you read?
This is Eldridge.
I do think this intro is actually not too bad.
Floating object discovered. Thought to be part of the cage. Point N17B158.
Roger, Rainbird. Did the cage sink to the bottom?
That's very possible.
It's a little reminiscent of the opening of Sphere, actually. So I don't know if that movie would have been out before this, but I think that was also 98.
We'll have the Sea Fox go. Roger.
So yeah, because there's no flotation devices on this capsule, it just sank to the fucking bottom. I don't actually know what this thing is, though. It's like a beacon or something, so they can locate the capsule. It's a terrible place to have a submarine. Imagine if you had to turn. I think the dithering is especially noticeable in cutscenes like this. Because again, the dithering is somewhat canceled out on an old CRT TV, but on a, LCD screen, it is very noticeable. I could have turned it off, I guess. So, like Carrier, this game is also in a nautical setting, this time at an underwater facility, which also has a military section for refueling submarines.
Stella.
A lot of the dialogue in this game really could have used a strong de-essing.
Chief!
You don't have to yell, Mookie. I can hear you just fine.
It's an emergency! Sharon's drowning in the E-pool! Come quickly!
I'm right above you. I'll be right there.
Hurry, Chief!
Ironically, Mookie, despite being like the comedy relief baseball-loving character, probably has the best voice acting out of all of the regular characters. Jack here, which is now Jack Mayer. Oh fuck, I did it again. Alright, well that's an air grenade, and fucking every time I load up this game, I immediately throw one by mistake. We also have a button that tells you what room you're in, if you hold it down. But yeah, we don't have a gun right now. We're just kinda here in the ERS room, the Emergency Rescue Service, which is a underwater rescue service. It's a fireproof suit for the ERS. It's a picture. When I was enlisted on the SEAL team. It's been 2 years since I was discharged. But yeah, you can see the model is a little less human-looking than like a Resident Evil model. If you turn on, the typical emulator kind of graphical enhancements, this game looks fucking awful. The character models have all kinds of texture warping because they have weird polygons rather than having a flat face with a face texture on it. It is like a weird wedge shape, but you can't really tell here when it's a little harder to identify. Also, let's just pick up a pocket full of first aid kits because this game does not have a limited inventory. It instead has just a limited number of items you can carry. So we can carry 8 first aid kits at once. I should unequip my air grenades because there's a good chance I'm going to throw another one. So I'm going to unequip that for the moment. Anyway, let's take the ladder down. This was another game that, as I said, I was waiting on a good emulator because I basically had 2 different emulators. One of them, my controller did not work, but everything else worked fine. And the other, my controller worked, but there was a looping bugged audio as soon as you load into the game. Also, I should mention that this game never came out in North America, but I am playing the unreleased NTSC version, which was one of those ports that was basically done, and they just didn't release. So this is running at the 60 FPS rather than
Chief!
The PAL 50 that you get with the European release. I'm coming, Mookie. You don't have to keep chiefing me. Let's just get in the submarine instead. Hold on, Mookie. This is important. Because there's an emergency aid kit here, which I think is like a resuscitation in Dino Crisis. I get a good look at John here. No eyes at all, just shadows. We can't actually do anything in here. I believe John is not actually qualified to pilot the little shark. That is Mookie's job. Alright, let's go save Sharon.
Chief!
What's going on?
April Fools! Did you forget it's April Fool's Day?
You know, we don't have time for these fun and games.
Sorry, Chief. The mood around the big table had been kinda stuffy lately. So, I had to play a joke before going crazy.
What do you mean, stuffy?
You were just transferred here a week ago, so you may not have noticed, but it's been especially stuffy lately. The Army people have been really uptight.
And stuffy.
Releasing Navy area arm. Switch off Sea Fox automatic pilot system and adjust the blast.
Roger. Sea Fox automatic pilot system off.
Sea Fox.
So this is basically going
This
on
time Mermaid may be waiting for you.
at the same time as our April Fool's
If only they were real
shenanigans.
mermaids.
Yeah, definitely.
What was that? Hey, stop!
Sea Fox, do you read me? Sea Fox, what's wrong?
Unlike Carrier, nothing has actually gone wrong yet until we already start the game. You know, we're not like arriving at a disaster zone. Things go bad in real time. But again, things go wrong on the sub after picking up a mysterious object. It's a good thing the Navy area is on, like, rails, so it just got kind of bumped backwards a little bit there, instead of getting destroyed.
Attention please. Would ERS John Mayer immediately report to the CCD area deck group? I repeat, would ERS
Chief,
John
I think
Mayer
they need you.
immediately report
That was
to
his
the
emergency call.
CCD
I wonder what
area deck group?
happened.
I'd better go.
Hey, Chief, you got a cold?
You could say that.
John, take care of yourself.
Thanks.
Chief, you've got a cold. Now, would you believe me if I told you that John having a cold is, in fact, a major plot point later on? Do those barrels behind Mookie look really weird? Like, not as much here, but from that other angle, they're like really skinny and really tall. They don't look like your typical steel drum barrel. Alright, we need to head back upstairs to the command deck, and we could take the ladder, but instead we're going to take the elevator. So yeah, the voice acting in this is especially bad for almost everyone. And there is a certain character that we're about to meet who probably takes the cake. Not a lot of these games have the camp voice actor. Alright, can't open that because we don't have the weapons card and we don't have a weapon anyway. Regulator charger. If you have a regulator, you can replenish the air. I believe that is for breathing. Air is an important mechanic in this game, as you can probably tell from the pink air meter at the top of the screen. We have to do a lot of air management within this underwater facility. And I do not remember, but I'm guessing the regulator is, you know, just like a scuba mask kind of thing so that we can breathe in areas where the air has run out, rather than chucking an air grenade. That goes up. If I remember correctly, we can't go this way yet. We're inspecting this area lock. We may need to repair it. This man is just kind of tenderly probing the door to see if it's okay. And every time you use the elevator, you get an elevator cutscene. Thankfully, these are actually skippable, but I'll let it play this time. I think you do a lot of elevator travel in this game. These places don't have staircases or a lot of ladders. Clancy's room. I think this is the ERS room. No, this is the conference area. You've obtained a report on freeze and preservation of human. Not freezing, just freeze. Freeze and preservation of humans. The font in this is all fucked up, and I don't know if that's an emulation thing, but it's readable enough. In 1973, the British Interplanetary Society announced Project Daedalus. This was a design study for sending a probe past Barnard's Star, which is about 5.9 light-years away, in the constellation of Ophiuchus? No. Ophiuchus? I guess? Not familiar with that constellation. In this project, a 54,500-ton spacecraft with huge pulse microfusion rockets set out on its 43-year trip to Barnard's Star. Oh, is it Barnard's Star or is it Barnard's Star? Because it's spelled differently on these two different screens. Its cruising speed would reach 13% the speed of light after its 4th year away from our solar system. Now, this isn't a design study, but this says that it was actually sent. So I'm not sure which one of those is true. Nearly half a century is a long way to travel, especially for humans. Not only are food and maintenance important, the biggest problem is age. If a 20-year-old astronaut were to go up, he would be 70 by the time he reaches his destination. And how many 20-year-old astronauts do we have? It takes a long time to become an astronaut. There's no guarantee he will live that long. In order to artificially control a living organism's life, researchers are studying cold sleep. This is a means of freezing and preserving life. Originally, this method was thought of for humans who had died so that they may be resurrected in the future. But in present times, there is no such technology. This is simply a fairy tale for now. They'll still charge you for it, though, if you want to freeze one of your dead relatives so that they can be someday revived. But really, it's just so that they can keep taking money for you, for no actual service. There have been reports of success in resurrecting life, though. In 1986, an American scientist was able to bring his pet dog's body temperature down to 10 degrees Celsius, stopping the heart and brain. I'm a little skeptical that this was an American scientist if he used Celsius. Bringing the dog to a dead state. After 7 hours, he then brought the dog back to life by giving it an electric shock. Similar types of experiments have succeeded on chimpanzees as well. However, the maximum time limit for these experiments was 7 hours. This experiment did show the possibility of cold sleep, but when it comes to a matter of decades and not hours, further studies will be needed. Atomic biology professor Steve W. O'Brien. So, at the moment, that is just kind of random lore that doesn't seem very useful to us, though you can probably take a guess how that might be relevant to our current event. Involving an unidentified capsule landing in the ocean. Also, you might notice that the Saturn takes a moment to load the next screen whenever you transition between screens. It's not instantaneous. And I believe that is true to the original system and not an emulator thing. Alright, control deck. Brace yourselves for one of the best terrible voices in these classic survival horror games.
Mayor, we've got a serious situation.
What's the problem?
A while ago, the Sea Fox, which was just getting ready to depart, crashed into the Navy area.
That wasn't a while ago.
Crash?
That was like
What
30
happened?
seconds ago.
We don't know yet. I asked Dubois, the designer, to come too.
Oh, there's no problem with my Sea Fox system. No accident should have occurred. Oh!
We can't get through on the wireless to either the Sea Fox or the Navy area. We have no idea what's going on over there.
This is terrible. My masterpiece is ruined. Oh, what am I gonna do?
The rescue force has been contacted, but they can't make it for a while.
Do you want the ERS to go in?
The Navy area is top secret and out of your jurisdiction. But we don't have a choice. I want the ERS to go check it out in the Little Shark.
We're ready to leave any time.
Dubois, the Navy area diagram.
The Navy area has an emergency pool which you can come out of.
First, find Dr. Wiseberg. This is the top priority. Next, move the Navy area and connect it to the big table. That'll be all.
Copy.
Fine. I'll give this to you. It's the Navy area level 1 key. Get ready right away.
I'll do my best.
I don't want any word of this leaking out. There are civilians here. We don't want to start a panic.
Understood.
So that's Clancy and Dubois. I really have to wonder what the voice direction for him was, but you can hear the voice actor, like, straining to maintain that voice the whole time. Like, they can't quite keep that pitch. But yeah, you're gonna hear a lot from Dubois across the course of the game. Not sure what this little corner back here is for. Anyway, despite being on the rescue service, we're not allowed in the military part of the big table. I'm gonna mix it up and say big shell at some point, but that's Metal Gear Solid 2. However, there's no choice, so we are going to have to go into the military area, which is the little bit on rails that can separate from the rest of it. Okay, now we have to go back down to where we just were. Which means it's elevator time. I mean, so far it controls perfectly fine. You know, it is very typical Resident Evil tank controls, which I know is like a sin to some people, but to me, it's a very comfortable, familiar control scheme. And I think anybody could learn it if they would take 10 fucking minutes to actually attempt to learn it, instead of just playing for a minute and going, no, this is impossible. How do I rotate and then go forward? I think some of you have heard my gripes about people talking shit about tank controls. But yeah, this seems perfectly manageable so far, though I'll wait until we actually get into combat to decide that fully. Alright, we gotta take the sub over to the Navy area.
Sharon was worried that you were mad.
I'm not mad. More
I'm just
importantly,
disappointed.
Mookie, how's the little shark?
Best conditions. Like the Yankees in '96. Why? What's up?
An accident in the Navy area. We're the first to go in.
You mean we get to go in and check out the Navy's secret weapons with our own eyes?
Hey, this is no joke, Mookie. You've got an important job to do. I'll fill you in later.
Mookie looks like he's too young to be working
Yes,
on
sir.
this deep sea rescue team. He looks like he's like 17. Maybe he's an intern. Do people do internship with rescue services? I mean, don't they just kind of like volunteer until they get some experience with like the Coast Guard or whatever? I don't really know.
Okay, Mookie, let's slide on into home.
Hurry up and get out, Mookie.
Can you tell that Mookie likes baseball?
Where's the key, Chief?
You mean this?
Thanks. I'll go first. Can't wait to get a look at the top secret weapons.
The delivery there was so like, I don't know what I'm reading. Can't wait to get a look at the top secret weapons. Anyway, we now have the air gauge at the top right of the screen, which is a giant number telling you how much air is in the current room you were in. And Mookie took our key, so we can't actually open any doors right now. We have to follow the specific path that it wants us to follow. Alright, the air is low in here. The oxygen circulation system is broken. Activate the AS, or else it's going to be tough. Chief, did you press the AS? Are you going to give me a tutorial? No, it just teleported me back. So yeah, these are save points, but they are also the air system. So when you activate them, they will fill the air
Let's hurry.
in the room a little bit. The amount seems to vary by room and air station. But I think they're infinite. Like, I think you can always reset the air to that amount. Alright, where did Mookie run off to now? How do you even lock one of these doors? Like, don't they just kind of lock by turning the wheel? Unless somebody locked it from the inside with the twisty thing that they use for battening down the hatches.
You're slow, Chief. I didn't think you were that old.
John proceeds to enter the elevator at a glacial pace, just to prove how slow he is.
He's hurt.
Hey, you okay?
Are you hurt?
Kill me, please.
What?
Kill me, please.
I don't think that's in my job description.
What's this?
Oh no, he's going crab. We better all just stand here. Mookie, don't run away. You have my keycard. I mean, it's nice of the first monster you meet to give you a gun to deal with it, instead of having to run away. Alright, the Glock 17. No fake name or anything, just a Glock 17. So let's figure out how to shoot this guy. Okay, so you can move while... Can I pop backwards? Oh my god, the camera angle here does not know what it wants to do. Yeah, you can do like a little hop, but you can also run around while you have your gun out. Oh, there's not a lot of air left in here. I mean, that's a nice way to have a little bit more mobility in combat. And I think some of these enemies are going to be a little more, you know, active than your typical Resident Evil enemy or zombie. Alright, the air is now low. That guy did a lot of breathing.
Let's go back, Chief! This is bad!
We haven't finished our mission. We have to save the doctor.
Please, no! You saw how that guy turned into a monster.
I know. That was strange.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Yes, this is Mayor.
This is Clancy. What's the situation over there?
Besides the air system being down, there seems to be no major damage. Also, one of the survivors turned into a monster.
Sir, the situation seems to be crabs.
What are you talking about? Anyway, save the doctor, and hurry up and start the Navy area docking operation. SEALs are on their way. We'll leave the final solution up to them. Over and out.
You heard the man. Let's go. Mookie, pilot me around the Navy area.
Wait! Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
He didn't take a lot of convincing.
That you give me my vacation 1 week earlier. Then I'll take you around the Navy area wherever you want.
Okay. I'll see to it you get topside earlier.
All right. I gotta get out of here. This place gives me the creeps.
God, like every time he's about to walk out of the room, he has to say something in a really weird pronunciation. This place gives me the creeps. But yeah, like I said, despite the fact that his voice acting is not very good, Mookie probably has the most normal voice acting out of all the characters we've met. Sharon's is especially bad too. Not like Dubois bad, but like, from that little bit we heard, pretty bad. So yeah, I actually don't mind the combat controls in this. Except for that, because you like lean forward when you're about to jump backwards, so it really fucks with the camera. But yeah, being able to run around is nice. However, there is a very long period there for drawing your gun. So if an enemy is close to you, you're better off running away and then pulling out the gun. Because you're kind of immobile. As you saw, though, we can also just fill up on ammo at any of these storage rooms. I think for any gun, too, not just the pistol. Though, of course, we don't have any other guns right now. Let me check the map. That's not the map. Okay, that is the elevator behind me. I mean, oh, there's like no air in here, so it is time to use an air grenade. Because it does pretty much what you might expect. You throw it, and it puts air out. You use these in emergencies like this where there's no air. And then we get a little bit of time to deal with the creatures. Also, I think we have to turn on the lock-on. Yeah, enemy search. Otherwise, you will not lock on, and you will just have to guess where you're aiming. Which is not great in a game with, you know, fixed cameras. That's not the right button. I like how there's no animation for that, you just immediately are pointing the right way. Another crab here. I do actually kind of like that he just kind of like draws it, you know? He doesn't just instantly have a gun in his hand, he like pulls it out of his, it looks like an underarm holster. I think this is an air machine? No, that is the control panel for the docking lift, which we don't need right now. Alright, I had to double check there because the other day I tried to do a video on this game and realized like 10 minutes in that it was not actually recording. I had forgotten to restart the recording after my first intro. So I just kind of tabbed out there to make sure we are still recording, and then did it again to double make sure the tabbing out didn't cause any problems. I'm always a little uncertain when recording with a new emulator, because sometimes they will do something like change resolution for FMVs, and that will stop the recording, because it becomes a new input source. So you just picked up a grenade here on the floor. It can blast the enemy. Not really sure why there's a grenade in an undersea, you know, facility. No, we can't go in there because Mookie has our key. Now, we did tell him to pilot us around the area, so I thought we had to go back to the sub, but I guess he's in here.
Oh, yeah! Here's the key back.
So, will it move?
Have faith. I'll let you know when it's ready. You still remember that 1-week deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just made that deal like a minute ago. Alright, we got our key back. Now we can actually go through that door out there. Any of this important? It's a big air duct. Cold air is flowing inside. I have no idea if that's important. I don't remember. Alright, I guess he's got this covered. So this is the junction room to the Sea Fox, which means I guess this is where the... Oh, hello. This is where the submarine would dock. Excuse me? Are you... No. Wasn't him making monkey noises. Oh, right, there is a... I forgot, it's even in the cutscene that I recorded yesterday. the, the intro before the main menu, there is a chimpanzee. Oh. Okay, I think we need to actually use the key or this chimp will not shut up. Ugh. So it is one of those games where you don't automatically use keys that you have in your inventory, you just have to manually use them every time. A woman with a crank and a valve. She must be a Resident Evil protagonist.
Stella? It can't be. Gina Wiseberg?
Oh,
am I?
It's not.
Head researcher?
She just looks like Stella.
Hey, can you hear me?
Qualified rescue technician, John here. You find someone unconscious, you just shake them.
Dr. Wiseberg, I'm John Mayer of the ERS.
And then you yell at them. I thought you was flatlining for a second there.
I just got confirmation from my early leave.
Mookie, is it going to move?
No sweat. I was rolling my dad's convoy when I was 3.
Get a move
What?
on.
I was rolling my dad's convoy when I was 3.
We'll be back at the big table soon.
I think that's what he said. That is a weird design, though, to have this thing just be on rails. I mean, I guess there are certain, like, offshore facilities that are designed like that. You know, obviously we don't have underwater research bases, but I think it's not unprecedented to use rails in the water. And the Navy area is just like this little, smaller facility that links up with the big area, the big table. You know, after encountering weird crab people that used to be crew, you think you maybe want to quarantine it instead of connecting it to all of the other civilians in the area. Was that a cat hiss? Oh, there he goes, at a very low frame rate.
Boyfriend? Just kidding.
Danny, there's a monster. We have to shut off this area.
What was it this time? Another mermaid?
It's true. I saw it.
I'm pretty sure she's not
terrible.
mute, though.
I'm sick of your horror stories.
She just doesn't
I'm
talk
not
very
lying,
much.
right, Chief?
She just stares at people.
Danny, maybe you should seal off the area.
Well, I took care of the monster.
Maybe you caught pressure psychosis.
That's
Dr.
what I think.
Wiseberg,
I'll go to Commander Clancy's room.
Nope, don't need another take for that. I'll go to Commander Clancy's room.
Not very friendly, huh?
But she's beautiful.
She like swallowed a fly mid-sentence.
Mookie, go return Little Shark before the area is shut off.
What? I told you there's a monster down there.
Didn't you say you just took care of it?
Okay, I'll go.
I'll go with you part way. Don't be scared, kid.
Don't call me kid.
And end scene with that little musical sting. The music is like not bad in the cutscenes, but it is definitely used pretty sparingly. I can't even remember if there is music for most of the areas, or if it is just this like quiet ambience. Okay, all these doors are locked. I think we need to go to Clancy's room to talk to the doctor. There's a sea farm over here, though. Are these shrimp fresh? I think there might be, like, actual farm animals on here, because I think I remember there being, like, a mutant bull at one point. Like, you might think that they're just growing, like, seaweed or something down here. Ah, yes, the breeding pool. Okay, I guess it's for dolphins, but I was gonna say, like, you know, this is one of the recreational rooms for the crew. Hey, Joanne, you coming down to the breeding pool this Friday? You know it. Wouldn't miss a weekend. Okay, so the air system we cannot activate right now because we have enough air. I also like that the ammo capacity is just shown in, like, a really small corner. Like, they didn't know where to put it on the HUD, so they just kind of shoved it down there and made it really small so you wouldn't, like, be distracted by it. But they had to make the air gigantic. The door toucher guy again. Sir? There's something wrong with this elevator, you know? You better hurry and fix this thing, otherwise Danny will be after us for sure. Yep, you just keep rubbing that door and find the sore spot. Sharon's room. Why is Sharon's room all the way out here in the sea farm rather than with the rest of the ERS? I mean, maybe she doesn't actually work with the ERS. Maybe she was just hanging out with Mookie. I almost forgot his name there. How could you forget a name like Mookie? But yeah, I guess I don't remember if she's actually one of us, or she just happens to work in the sea farm and she was bored. Got another storage room here. Didn't it say that we needed a key card, a weapon key card to use this, but we're using it anyway? Anything over here? And there's another save point. So I guess these are pretty much save rooms. They have an ammo up and a save point in them. And probably don't run out of air. I mean, I guess if there's an air station, they can run out of air and then you just refill them. That door makes like a key in a wooden door kind of sound, but it looks like it's just a metal door with a handle, and we didn't use a key to open it. Alright, I think this leads us back into where we were before. The map is not very useful in this game because it's not labeled. I don't know what it is with old survival horror games and bad maps. Like, I feel like Resident Evil was the only series that had useful maps.
What's the matter, Dubois?
At least until
John,
Code Veronica.
It's a facility check. I have this strange feeling.
That doesn't sound too good.
Oh, definitely. It's from the air unit area. It's howling at the top of its lungs. I wonder if it's wearing down.
Can it be fixed?
Oh, not right away. Oh, by the way, Commander Clancy was looking for you.
Okay.
He, like, almost hit normal person voice there at the end. Like, you can tell he wasn't keeping up the Dubois voice. Meanwhile, on the Sea Fox. For someone who appears to be dying, that was a very delicate, like, two-finger key twist. Alright. Someone has managed to arm the torpedoes on the Sea Fox. God damn it, that's a grenade. I was looking for the map. It is the other bumper. Alright, maybe we have to go upstairs, because we have to go to Clancy's room. And I'm pretty sure that's not down here. Storage room. I'm pretty sure it was upstairs, right? Like down the hall from the ERS room. We definitely passed it earlier. In fact, I think it's right here. Clancy's room.
Dr. Wiseberg, I think you should rest a bit in the infirmary.
Yes, but there's something I want to check on, so I'm going back to my room in the MI area. Thanks for everything, Mr. Mayor.
John's fine.
Excuse me.
I guess Clancy's voice acting is pretty normal as well.
Thanks for going, Mayor. I heard everything from Dr. Wiseberg.
A human being turning into a creature? What's going on in the Navy area?
What goes on in there is top secret. Now, I'm afraid I can't answer your questions, but I will say this. The Navy has nothing to do with the creatures.
But...
Anyway, a SEAL team has been called in for the rescue. Until they arrive, the Navy area will be sealed off.
Until the SEALs arrive to unseal it.
What? Okay, I'll be right there. The Sea Fox, it's in a bad situation. Mayor, you come to the deck too.
Okay.
What next?
John, what happens, what crabbens in the Navy area stays in the Navy area. You feel me? You've obtained a report on the EEC, Emergency Evacuation Committee. MI and DN, the two leading major investors of the big table, have been asking about EEC for quite some time now and whether or not it will indeed function. However, due to the limited budget we have, the EEC plan has been officially postponed. Therefore, the following have been assigned as temporary measure. The cruiser Eldridge of the U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet will be the official relief ship if any emergencies should occur. Staff from the ERS will be on board the big table at all times. The ERS, or Emergency Rescue Service, is a civilian rescue squad founded by former U.S. Army Green Beret Lieutenant Colonel Gabe Riley. That is a really long title. U.S. Army Green Beret Lieutenant Colonel Gabe Riley. Its members consist mainly of former military personnel. Unlike public-operated rescue squads, the ERS specializes in special scene rescues, like underwater. For instance, they are recognized worldwide for their involvement in a plane crash rescue in high-altitude mountains in 1985, and an oil refinery plant explosion rescue in 1997. The ERS has 32 stations in the U.S., all with rescue and first aid specialists. They are called in for all types of situations, civilian as well as federal. So, which one of our three guys is the first aid specialist? John, Danny, or Mookie? Got anything else in here, Clancy? A letter to Captain Dawkins. Letter to Captain Dawkins, Captain Clancy Dawkins, U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet. After due consideration of all your efforts in previous incidents and all you have done for the United States of America, you've now been appointed Chief of Command of the Underwater Fueling Facility Base SSB-01 as of January 1st, 1999. January 1st, 1999. Today, you are now the commander of that underwater facility, so you better have your shit packed. Virgil K. McBride, Chief of Command, U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet. Let's go find out what's happening with the Sea Fox. Which, I think is around this corner? This door? I mean, I said that Carrier was a lot of metal hallways. This game is also a lot of identical metal hallways, but they're less dark.
The Sea Fox missile hatch is open. Either there was a malfunction, or someone opened it from the inside.
Those S sounds are intense.
I can hear water in the Sea Fox's torpedo room. A torpedo will be launched in less than 10 seconds. It has a sonar tracking device.
Everyone on base, until instructions are given, do not make a sound. Stop all construction work. I repeat, do not make a sound. This is not a drill.
Pretty sure that announcement took more than 10 seconds.
What's that sound?
It's the air unit area.
Oh my god.
Dubois did say that it was howling.
It's been launched!
Why does the submarine have, like, camera adjustment notches all around the nose? It'd be a real shame if that torpedo were to blow up the air exchange unit that provides all the air to the big table. It's very much a slow and steady torpedo.
Safety system was on. That was close. But the air system isn't working. The pressure's dropping. There's a threat the big table could be flooded.
The air system? Safety system or the torpedo? Like, was the torpedo not armed, or was there an emergency thing turned on in the air system? But yeah, that's the reason why there is such an air problem on the big table. Oh, by the way, that single key also armed all the nuclear missiles.
Commander, the Sea Fox missile hatch is...
What?
This is an ROV picture. The Poseidon could be launched at any moment. Someone is operating it from inside.
Nuclear terrorists?
God, he really struggled through that line. Like it was trying to burst out of his chest.
How is the Poseidon missile launch code deactivated?
2 keys must be entered within the Sea Fox command room.
Has the SEAL team arrived yet?
He sounds like he's having a heart attack over there.
The Coast Guard has arrived, but it'll be a while before the DSRV arrives. We don't have a minute to spare. Mayor, you were a SEAL Team 6 member, right? Didn't you have training in decoding nuclear missile launches?
Yeah, but...
I'm sorry, we don't have any time. Get aboard the Sea Fox and take care of the situation. Go now!
But...
Your submarine should be able to dock with the Sea Fox. Just in case, I'll give you this. It's a standard weapons storeroom pass card. If something happens in the Sea Fox, use this to get a weapon. Good luck.
And I guess it's level 3. We get to skip right over level 1 and 2. I like how we went from, like, yeah, we can't really send you into the Navy area to, yeah, we're gonna need you to board this nuclear submarine and grab a gun while you're there. Weapon card for the submachine gun A. Is there a submachine gun B? I don't remember. Also, the the stakes have increased pretty quickly, huh? We went from April Fool's Day to Crabman to disarm the nuclear missiles before they launch. And now the air is ticking down. Alright, well, I think we're going to wrap up in a moment, but maybe we'll head down to the sub and take the little shark over to the Sea Fox. But yeah, this is another game that I think I would enjoy doing a full playthrough of, even though it is shonky. Shonky is just kind of my bag when it comes to these kind of games. I mean, it's not like I don't have any good survival horror games to cover as well, but again, I prefer to wait on those until I have a good microphone. A good microphone. I mean, this microphone has served me pretty well in the time I've had it, and it was definitely an upgrade from the shitty headset mic I had to use when my old headset broke. You know, when I had a Siberia at one point, and then I replaced it with a V2, and it turns out the V2 mic is worse. Or maybe it was a V2 to a V3, I can't remember. Anyway, I was like, yeah, I have to get a stand mic. But, you know, there's a reason that this is an ASMR mic, and it's because it fucking picks up everything. Every little moist fleck when I talk gets picked up by this microphone, even at the lowest gain setting. So I'm going to be getting a proper, like, commentary microphone, but it's not cheap, and in addition to the microphone, I also need to buy a preamp, which is about the same price as the mic, so that's a good, like, $500 I have to spend on those two. And just to top it off, neither of them comes with the cable you need to plug them into each other. But yeah, because it's an XLR mic, you can't plug it directly into a PC, you need to run it through a USB preamp. But hopefully that will reduce the amount of editing I need to do, because so much of my editing now...
Mookie is safe at home.
Baseball.
Mookie, we have to go again.
What?
And then they went
How come
again.
we get all the dangerous jobs?
Because we're a rescue
We don't
service.
have time to wait for the SEALs.
But if it's nuclear terrorists, they would wipe us out with one missile.
Let's pray that doesn't happen.
Remember, he has a cold, so he will occasionally cough. I was gonna say, how do you dock a submarine with a bigger submarine? But apparently there is a very small docking hatch. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that it would drastically reduce the amount of audio editing I have to do, because that is the reason it takes me so long to release videos right now, is that I have to edit out every little fucking squishy mouth sound that this mic picks up. And again, I think my my mouth has become a squishier environment in the last year, so it's even more noticeable. What is wrong with Mookie? Also, his arms feel like they're a little too long for his height. Like, he's got, like, the exact same arm size as John here. You're a tough kid, Mookie. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up here, now that we've boarded the Sea Fox, but we will be returning to the, big shell. Damn it. I told you it was going to get in there somewhere. The big table. We're going to be returning to the big table in the Sea Fox to further investigate why people are turning into crabs. But for now, that is a look at Deep Fear. And I think next we will probably take a look at Blue Stinger, even though it is not a survival horror game. It has some survival horror influence, but it is very much just a kind of straightforward action game with weird mutant monsters. And I believe if we idle here as John, he will actually do a little cough for us. You know, turn his head and cough. I'm not sure what that red thing is on his neck. There's like 2 pixels of red. Go red on you. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you with some more janky old games soon, but until then, y'all take care.